Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Sherrard Show. I'm your host, Sherrard, for our very special Monday afternoon Martin Luther King episode of the Sherrard Show. We have boxing royalty in the house this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We have a world champion. This gentleman has fought for many years and fought the best. He only has one defeat on his record, and he's my dad's favorite boxer, ladies and gentlemen, and he's also the brother of the late, great Leon Spinks. We have the man himself, Mr. Michael Spinks, stopping by the Sherrard Show. But before we speak to him, the Sherrard Show is brought to you by Pure Essence Television, where you can see some of the greatest interviews of your life, ladies and gentlemen. Now trending, the Temptations interview, the Emotions, Jay Leno, and so many more. Just click on Pure Essence Television right there on your monitor, and you can see the greatest episodes of your life. And also, this broadcast is brought to you by iHeartRadio. If you missed this on television, you can also listen to it on iHeartRadio. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this gentleman he was boxing for many years. I'm a big fan of his as well. He had a very unique style, very skilled boxer, a two-division world champion, and he stopped by on the Sherrard Show first time. The man himself, Mr. Michael Spinks. Welcome to the show, sir. How are you?
No problem. I'm all right.
You know, Michael, it's been many years since you've boxed, but so much has changed in boxing. But first off, how did you get your start in boxing? What inspired you to come up in that era?
Well, Leon went to the gym, came home, and told me that, Mike, I went to a gym, boxing gym, learned how to box. And I think I went the very next day, where he went to learn how to do it myself.
Now, you know, you came up in the era, you were a little bit after Muhammad Ali. Your brother came up right in towards the end of Muhammad Ali's career, but you came in kind of like the Larry Holmes, Jerry Cooney era and things like that. But what did you do to kind of differentiate yourself? Because you really stood out in that era. What did you do to really set yourself apart?
I don't know. I don't know. I just learned how I went to the gym when Leon told me he went to the gym. And I learned how to do the boxing myself.
Mhm. Now, you two had very contrasting styles. You know, you had more, your technique, you were quick, you didn't get hit much and things like that. Leon was more like just come right at you like a bull. Is that something you learned or just off of your personality?
Yeah, something that I learned.
Now,
Yeah.
one thing, ladies and gentlemen, that is very interesting about for those who don't are familiar with Michael Spinks, he spent so many years in his career undefeated. But Michael, you're the first one to put a blemish on Larry Holmes' record when you fought him. What was that like for you back then?
It was pretty good when I learned how to make him miss and hit him myself. Yes.
Now, Michael, Larry Holmes is known for having that great jab. How were you able to slip that jab so well?
I was good. I was pretty good at slipping punches. I learned how to slip punches very well.
Yeah, very much so. As I mentioned before, you are my dad's favorite boxer. He's the one that put us on you. You know, when you were boxing in the 70s and in the 80s, I was really young, but I remember you were being one of my favorite because you used to come on, and this dates me, but you used to come on ABC Wide World of Sports, your boxing matches. You remember that?
Yes, I remember that.
So,
Yeah.
Michael, how do you look at boxing now? Has much changed, in your opinion, since you boxed?
Well, it has changed a bit or two. It's not the same. It's not the same the way it used to be. Yeah.
So now, in what way? Because for me, and it's just me as a fan watching. I saw a lot more skill, and I saw that everybody fought everybody. I didn't see any ducking. Is that one thing that you could say was pretty different?
Yeah, you can say that. Yeah, you can say that.
You And the thing is, like, for example, I'll use Muhammad Ali for an example. Muhammad Ali, fought Ken Norton. Ken Norton fought George Foreman. George Foreman fought Frazier. Frazier fought Andrew Shaver. Everybody fought everybody. And was that likewise with your career as well?
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Now, when in your era though, Michael, who would you say was the hardest puncher you've ever encountered? You know, like Larry Holmes speaks about and Muhammad Ali speaks about Ernie Shavers. What about for you?
Well, Mike Tyson, he came along and he was the hardest hitter that I ever faced in the ring.
Now, what was that like going up against him in 1988 when everybody was just petrified about getting in the ring with him? What was your experience like getting into Kid in the ring with Kid Dynamite back then?
Well, it was kind of scary, and because he was punching pretty hard, and I didn't think I was punching as hard as he, but yeah, I think yeah he was punching pretty hard.
Mhm. Now, when it comes down to like fighters, you know, from yesteryear, and this is one thing that I really, first of all, Mike, I really want to appreciate you. I know Flo is listening. I really appreciate Flo so much for having you on as well on the show. Now, my thing is that you look at great boxers as yourself. You know, when I was growing up, the heavyweight division was the cream of the crop. Now it seems like it's the welterweight division or the lightweight division. What's changed?
I couldn't tell you, but back when I was coming up, I think the heavyweight was the division that we admired very much as well. And but today, it's you got uh, Mayweather, Floyd Mayweather, his weight class, and you have a few other weight classes as well.
So now, Michael, for those who are watching and they want to say, you know what, man, I want to be a boxer. What kind of advice would you give them? Because you know, boxing, yes, it's about skill and things like that, but you know, it's not easy getting the big fights if you don't know the right things, like politicking and things like that. But what advice would you give someone who's watching right now and wants to become a boxer?
Yeah, well, I can tell them learn how to put your hands up and learn how to I would tell a bunch of people that hands up, hands up, chin down, and learn how to do it.
But you know, Mike, one thing that Mike Tyson said was very interesting. He said plans change when you get hit in the mouth. So when you had your first fight, and you know, and you ready to fight and everything, and you get hit with something that kind of reworks your wiring, how do you compose yourself to continue fighting after that?
Yeah, but like I said, you got to hand put your hands up and block some of the stuff that you get hit with.
Mhm. So now, Michael, how has it been for you since retirement? What is it that you do now, you know, in terms of life after boxing?
Well, I try to keep a run under my belt. I try to keep a run, and that's about it. I try to keep a run under my belt, and I may shadow box a little bit, but that's about it.
But now, Mike, the thing that's interesting is that so many boxers like yourself, you know, they've seen the top of the mountain, but when they retire broke, you know, and
Uh,
punch drunk, and you know, and it's a tragedy to me because they were the ones taking those blows. Boxing is the only sport you don't play. You play football, you play basketball, but you don't play boxing. So, what is it now that helps boxers to, you know, be able to keep their money after the ring?
well, you gotta save it. You gotta save it. Keep some of your money and just save it.
So now, Mike,
That helps.
I'm sorry.
I said that helps.
Mhm.
Saving your money will help you a lot.
But
Yeah.
you know, because a lot of times boxers, you know, when they're fighting, they got so many people, you know, that they got to pay, you know, the promoters, the trainers, and this and this and that. But what kind of advice could you give somebody that's watching right now, you know, so that when they get the big fight, you know, they don't come out with the short end of the stick?
Well, like I said, you got to save some of your money. You got to save some and don't give a lot of it away
Mhm.
because you got a lot of guys that they may save a little bit, but they'll give a lot away with family members, and with people that are asking for money. You have to save some.
And you raise a very interesting point. Ladies and gentlemen, for those who just joined us, we're talking to the two-division champ, the iconic Mr. Michael Spinks on the Sherrod Show. We will be taking your questions momentarily as well. Now, Michael, you were mentioning about people asking for money and things like that. So when you become rich, which you became when you became world champion and celebrity and all these things, how were you able to learn how to say no?
You're right about that. It's kind of tough to say no to people that don't have as much as you have, and it kind of get you into the mood of giving away your money. It's kind of tough.
Mhm. A lot of people say that, the more you give people, the more they want. And the minute you stop giving to them, that's when they start turning on you. And oftentimes, some of my celebrity friends said, the worst thing they could do is help people because they're like enabling them. But you just have to learn how to say no. Is that a true statement?
That's true. That's very true. You gotta learn how to say no because a lot of times people that ask for your money, you have a tendency to try to help somebody, and you end up giving a lot of it away. So that's true.
Very
Very
good.
true.
Very good. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then I'm going to find out who is Michael Spinks' top 5 boxers of all time in his opinion. I'm Sherrod. We'll be right back right after this. This beautiful young lady has been on The Voice. She also had sing Jennifer Hudson's song, She Can Sing. I'm telling you, she can sing.
Sherry Shepherd always says you got to shoot your shot. You got to ask for it.
I don't think we laugh as much as we used to. Everybody's so serious,
I think that people are so afraid of losing their jobs. They want to regurgitate. They want to reboot. They want to do something that's been tried and true. But they don't want to spend the money for those old, doing it in the old sitcom way.
Knock, 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 knock.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Sherrod Show. I'm your host, Sherrod, for our very special Monday conversation with the legendary Mr. Michael Spinks himself on the Sherrod Show, talking about all things boxing as well as his illustrious career as well. Michael, we were talking off camera for a minute, and you kind of was flashing a lot of gold and jewelry in front of me. I almost got blind. Can you show us what there is on your ring, on your hand, your rings?
Yeah, well, the
Now let's start with the ring and the middle finger. Which one is that?
the middle finger. That's the from the
WBC.
WBC.
Now that's when you first became world champion.
No.
No, it was. I'm the peanut gallery back here. It was a guy just walked up to us and presented it to him in Indiana several years ago, and then we saw Mauricio Suleiman, the head of the WBC, and he hadn't seen those rings in years. He said they had them made years and years ago in Korea, but the guy had it in. It was brand new, and he just walked up and gave it to Mike.
Wow, that is beautiful. I was just mentioning to the audience, that could feed all the people in Ghana with just those rings right there. They're absolutely beautiful. Now, I like the one on your pinky. Can you hold it up a little higher? Now,
Yeah.
which one is that from?
That's from
Indiana Boxing Hall of Fame.
Indiana Boxing Hall of Fame.
And that's
wow. And then the one with the red crescent on it, that's from the Olympics?
That is my Olympic ring.
Very good. Awesome stuff. Now, Michael, tell us a little bit about who you would rank all time, your 5 all-time great boxers. They don't have to be all heavyweight, but what would you say if you had to put together the list of some of the greatest fighters of the top 5?
Who can I put up there? I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
I know its top 3 are Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier, and his brother Leon.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. That was it. Joe Frazier, Muhammad Ali, and my brother Leon.
Leon
Leon was my favorite boxer.
He was one of my favorites too, but you know the thing is with him, he doesn't get enough credit because he in 1976 he beat Mike Tyson and he only had 6 pro fights. Is that correct?
No, he beat Muhammad Ali
I mean, I'm sorry, I said Mike Tyson. He beat Muhammad Ali, and
in
at the time,
1977.
Leon Spinks only had 6 professional fights.
He
It was 7.
only had 7 pro fights. That's right.
And if you look at the footage, ladies and gentlemen, you know, he came charging in, and he was a very skilled fighter. And like I said, I really enjoyed him as well. And you can tell Flo's not on the camera, but she's a boxing guru as well. We love it.
I call a boxing historian.
Oh, very good. Very good. So now, Mike, I have a couple more questions. We do have a couple from the audience, but I'll ask Mike too, and then we'll get to the audience, and then we'll let you get out of here. Now, Michael, a lot of boxers, you know, they spend a lot of time, ex-boxers, at the gym, training up and coming talent and things like that. Is that something you do?
I used to.
Mm-hmm.
I used to do that. Train a lot, and I guess I would talk to people about what I did.
Mm-hmm. Now, you don't do that anymore?
No.
Okay, very good. Now, and my final question I have for you is, when it comes down to the sport of boxing and you know, people wanting to get advice from it in terms of promoters and picking the right trainer and coaches and things like that, what kind of advice would you be able to give to them?
Well, I can only tell them hands up and your chin down, you know. But I couldn't tell a person pretty much what to do when you try to learn how to box.
Very good. Very good. All right, now we have a couple questions from our audience, and then we'll get Mr. Spinks out of here. He's very busy, man. I really love that shirt. I gotta ask him. I'll ask him in a moment, but I gotta get one of those T-shirts as well that you're wearing. I love it.
Yeah, I got it from my family in St. Louis.
Oh, really? Wow, I love that. That's really nice. Now, this first question, this is from Adam. He is from Denver, Colorado. He says, "Oh my goodness, Michael Spinks, one of my absolute favorite boxers on the show." He's asked, his question is, what was it like going in with Mike Tyson? And when you retired, you never came back. Did you ever regret that you retired?
No, I don't regret retiring.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but it was tough. It was tough going in the ring with Mike Tyson because he was hitting pretty hard. So it was tough.
Very good. This is from, and this, thank you, Adam. This is from Felix. He is from Gainesville, Florida. He said, "It's always incredible when Sherrod has iconic boxers on the show." I agree, Felix. His question is, how did your life change when you defeated Larry Holmes?
Not really. It didn't change. It's just that I beat Larry, and that was a good thing.
Mm-hmm. You know what's interesting is that it's not said, but he was 48-0 at the time. He was 1 fight away from being at Rocky Marciano's record, and you stopped it. So very interesting. Thank you, Felix. All right, this last one is from Kimberly. This is from Kimberly. She's from Chicago, Illinois. She said, "You are right. Michael, Leon is my favorite boxer." And he never gets enough credit. Her question is, how were you able to overcome being in his shadow, A, and then B, were you more comfortable fighting in lightweight or light heavyweight or heavyweight?
Well, I don't think it was a problem with changing weights, but I think I gained a little weight to fight as a heavyweight. It wasn't too bad.
But her first part of the question was, what was it like? How were you able to rise above Leon's shadow?
Oh, it was tough. But Leon, that was my main man. I love my brother, and he was pretty tough. He was pretty tough to. Like I said, when I first started boxing, Leon had went to the gym and came home and told me that he had went to a gym and learned how to box. And I think, like I said, I went the very next day to learn how to do it myself. So Leon was a hero of mine.
Very good, very good.
Yeah.
Well, Michael, thank you so much for stopping by on the Sherrod Show. For those who are watching, first off, where can I get one of those shirts?
We'll get you one. His
Okay,
brother
there you
makes
go.
them, but I have
See,
some.
Yeah,
very good.
my dad made them. You
I
know,
love it. I love it. Yeah,
Originally.
I'm gonna be supporting it on the show flow when you get it for me. And then also, where can those who are watching the show reach out to you for more questions or more advice? Facebook, social media, and email or anything like that?
He's on Twitter
Mhm.
at Mike Spinks.
Very good. Thank you so much. And Michael, any final thoughts?
no, not at all.
Thank you, Flo. Is an honor. I thank you so much.
I'm sorry, I'm such a big mouth.
No, we really thank you so much for her being here and setting this thing up, making it happen. We got to have her on the show. She says she's a boxing historian. I want to test her knowledge in boxing and pick
You
her
be
brain as
done.
well. But we
Yeah.
really appreciate you stopping by on the Sherrod Show. Stay tuned on our next episode where we have the legendary Billy D. Williams stopping by the show, talking about his career as well as what he has upcoming next in his book. And for Michael Spinks, Flo, and the Sherrod Show, always remember, if you ever want to get back on your feet, just miss 3 car payments. I'm Sherrod. See you next time. Bye now.
That's the right thing.